Hello strangers on the internet. So I have a massively obsessive personality. I feel like there is at least one thing I'm obsessing over at any point in my life. But first, let's define the meaning of obsession just so we are on the same page. I understand that the word obsession is mostly used in a negative way, but I'm not happy with the connotation it gets because it's not necessarily a bad thing. Okay, so traditionally maybe the word has a bad meaning. What even is the source for this definition? Oxford Dictionary. Okay, so here is my definition of an obsession. It's a mental fixation for something I have a strong desire for. You want something so badly that you keep thinking about it. Okay, so why am I talking about obsession? Here is why. I've had a hypothesis for a long time that, contrary to the popular belief that being obsessed with your goals doesn't actually mess with your manifestation. I think that would be pretty amazing for a lot of us. So why did I start thinking like this? It's because of things I've heard and read from different sources that actually even encourage obsession to help manifest your goals. The first time I felt confused about this concept was when I read the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. So basically the main principle for this book is having a burning desire for your goals. I mean, look at it, it's mentioned 24 times throughout the book. I don't know if you guys read the book or not, but the lessons from this book is definitely based on the law of attraction. I mean, it doesn't say the exact word law of attraction, but if you read it, you can definitely see it. But anyways, a burning desire and an obsession are not exactly the same things, and I'll explain that later, but the way I say it, you cannot bring your desire to a burning level without an obsession. Let's think about this for a second. A lot of great people throughout history who became number one in their field were definitely obsessed with what they were doing. They had a burning desire and a very clear vision for what they wanted to bring to the world. Like this guy whose book I just read a couple weeks ago. So this is the book, and I was instantly hooked by the title since I have been thinking about the effect of obsession on manifestation. And I haven't really heard of him before I read this book, but he has a pretty impressive resume to say the least. So if a guy like him, who's literally one of the most successful people in the world, says, hey, if you want to manifest success in your field, being obsessed is the way to go, then I need to at least investigate that angle, also because I've been thinking that might be the case. So then why are there so many sources saying you have to stop obsessing over your results, you have to stop obsessing over your goals? I think what they actually mean is you have to stop worrying about your manifestation not coming true, because that certainly is bad for your manifestation. But you have to understand that a worry and an obsession are not the same thing at all. There is something I noticed recently. I noticed how much time and energy I spend in a day thinking about what I'm going to eat next. I know most of us do that, but in my case, it's a little extreme because food brings me so much joy. And there's only so much we can eat in a lifetime, so I want every single meal to count. So it's more of a healthy obsession, and we could say that I have a burning desire for eating good food. But am I ever worried about it? I don't think so, because I truly believe that whatever I choose to eat, it's going to be good. Like, I can't remember the last time I had a bad meal. I trust myself to either order something that's going to be good, or if I cook myself something, it's also going to be tasty because I'm a good cook. Okay, so that might have been a weird example, but I'm just trying to tell you, just because you spend so much time thinking about something, even to an obsessive level, doesn't necessarily mean you're worried about it. It could very easily just mean that you're passionate about it. Okay, so now let's talk about desires, not just desires, but burning desires. And we already know that in order for us to manifest anything, it is absolutely necessary for us to be in the state of already having it. But is it actually possible to have a burning desire for something you already have? Let's think about this. Think of any object that you have, maybe your car, maybe what you're wearing right now. Would you ever think, oh, I want it so bad? I don't think that would make a lot of sense because you already have it. Let me ask a different question. Is there anything that you already physically have, that you're obsessed with? The answer could be yes. You might be watching a show, it's so good you can't stop watching, you're obsessed with it. You might be dating someone and you think about that person for 10 hours a day, you're obsessed with them. You might have bought a new ring and you can't stop staring at it because you think it's so gorgeous. You are really admiring its beauty. You're obsessed with it. So I think it's definitely possible to be obsessed with something that you already have. And also, while in the physical world, it wouldn't make a lot of sense to have a desire for something that you already have. I think in the energy world, in your mind, it's pretty natural for you to feel like something is already yours and still have a burning desire for it. As in, you really do want it, but you also know for a fact that it's already yours. Like there's zero worry and zero doubt that it's yours. Just like my example from earlier about food, how I spend so much time and energy thinking about what I'm going to eat next. But it's simply a matter of figuring out what I'm in the mood for. And once I make the decision, I know for a fact that I have zero problem getting what I want. So I'm in the state of my wish fulfilled. So I could be a major control freak when it comes to certain things. I know I'm not supposed to talk. I'm not supposed to use a negative word after I am, but let's admit it, guys. If you're watching my videos on manifestation, I think it's safe to assume that we are way past the point of following rules. And I'm not a manifestation coach, I'm a manifestation student. So I just fully accept where I am and I'm just trying to figure out how to get better from where I'm standing. So I learned that if you like to control things as much as I do, it makes manifesting way harder than it has to be. But the good thing is having this knowledge can bring new awareness into the situation. Recently, there was something I wanted to manifest so badly, but it was a complicated situation and I had zero control over it. And it wasn't something I could try to get it from my part, but I just have to wait till the end of September to know if it happened or not. And at first I didn't have such a strong desire for it, but as time went on, I found myself getting more and more obsessed with it. And even though logically I knew it was out of my control, I kept trying to increase my chance of getting it until one day I asked myself, why? How am I getting so obsessed over this? Because at the beginning, I know I didn't even want it that much. I was completely detached. Then I realized it's just because I cannot handle not having control over the situation. I have a very go-get-it type of personality, so I'm just terrible at sitting and waiting for things to happen. And remember how I said I always need at least one thing I'm obsessing over at any point in my life? This was a thing I was obsessing over at that time, and now I moved on to online shopping and watching funny animal videos till 2 o'clock in the morning. But anyways, I had been worried about my anxiety about the situation affecting my manifestation. But as soon as I became aware of this pattern, I could finally relax because I realized I wasn't really worried about not manifesting this thing, but I was just going crazy over not knowing what's going to happen. So if you have an obsessive personality combined with a strong desire for control over things, next time you think you're worried about your manifestation, think again. There's a very high chance that you're not actually worried about your manifestation not coming true, but you're just anxious about not knowing. Okay, I finished the video by quoting Neville Goddard. All transformation begins with an intense burning desire to be transformed. Then you must make your future dream a present fact. You do this by assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled. If this assumption is persisted in until it becomes your dominant feeling, the attainment of your ideal is inevitable. To have an obsessive personality can be really tiring sometimes, I know. But it could also be a blessing because we could easily channel our obsessive energy towards the things that we want to attract into our lives. It's up to us how we choose to use it. So keep obsessing over your goals, feel as if it's already yours, and make that your dominant feeling. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!